Good evening. It's 6:30, and I'd like to call the Select Board meeting for the town of Sheffield for November 17th. I'm ready for December, I guess, to order. And I wanted to also mention that we are being recorded and airing live on CTSB this evening. Our first Our first item on the agenda, and we're starting at 6:30. We will go through this, and then we will suspend until 7 o'clock if there's time between. Is an information session with questions and answers regarding the highway garage project. Everyone that's here should feel free to come up and look at what's sitting in front of us. I don't have all of my materials that I went through last year. I think everyone probably knows the process that we've gone through to get here of identifying a space, identifying a second space, and first of all, coming to this after recognizing that our temporary space from 1972 was still our space in 2025. Bob, you've been involved in this project longer than I am. Do you want to pontificate on some of it?
I don't know how much everybody would like to know or hear, or would you like to start with questions that we could answer, or would you like some of the backstory? How would you like to have it presented? Okay, well, obviously this has been going on for many years. The need was recognized 25 years ago? At least. So
in the master
this
plan,
isn't,
yeah.
Unfortunately, municipalities don't move at lightning speed, even when you're trying to get things pushed along. So we've needed this for about 25 years at least. The size of the building right now is so small that we can't store all of our equipment inside. We can barely fit the trucks and a loader inside for a storm. So when the plows are on and the salt's in the bodies where you don't want it outside and get wet, they actually can't open the doors on the trucks sometimes to get out. And it's like a game of Pinterest, that everything goes in a certain way, a certain angle, because if not, you don't fit. Even, crawling out the window, you're just not gonna make it work. There's no place for them to work on their equipment that can be down. So if you're doing a brake job, you need parts, and you tie up a bay, you're in trouble, because if the part you got isn't right, or you don't have, or you need something else, the bay of that shop has been taken up. So they're very careful not to tie up something that could be a problem later. We have things like the grader, the excavator, which have had to sit outside. We have a tractor and mower that has to sit outside. They do store the lawnmowers and stuff inside a trailer. They also have a storage container now to store. Basically, what this will do is alleviate all of that. There will be, and I don't know if any of you are familiar with the highway garage. Well, how do I sum it up? The office, break room, and bathroom would fit into less than about a quarter of this room. You can't bypass that. There's a table about half the size. It's like a regular kitchen table with some chairs around it, but you can't walk around it. It's very small. It has issues.
I think what Bob is telling us primarily is we've known for a long time that we need a better space, and ideally a space that allows us to house and retain equipment, maintain its longevity by keeping it indoors, work on it, repair it, create a wash bay where it can be washed so salt and chemicals can be removed from things, so that again it will extend the longevity of things. And this was identified in the 2000 master plan as an issue. Before I got on, you guys had looked at several other pieces of land identifying one for purchase on Hewen Street, after first looking at Berkshire School Road before that, right? And discovering that that space wasn't going to work well for a number of reasons, we moved on to looking for a new piece of land, found something on Hewen Street that seemed appropriate, and I believe that went out for a model and came back with a price tag of about 17 to $20 million to build something new. Because of the way that the state works in paying, in bringing building projects forward with prevailing wage and how we have to go about building something within the government or municipally, like the cost of new construction is very expensive. And then impressively, the board recognized that there was a building across the street, across the road that had become available that would help to cut down the cost of doing that. So everyone did something that I think is very brave, which is said that can we move on from what we decided to do and save ourselves some money by doing something else, and identified that the building there could be repurposed to meet a lot of our needs in this and help bring the cost down. Once the town at a town meeting approved that new purchase, we went around about this process of meeting with a design firm and coming up with a plan that will meet all of our needs. Dave Ruat was a part of that. Bob, myself, Nadine when she was on the select board, I think Renee before that, and now Patrick. And if we don't move soon, we'll need the next generation after Patrick to do this. So what we really hope to do is bring this building forward that we think will cost us around
The total project cost, including the land and the purchase of the building that was there, is in the vicinity of $10 million.
And the construction being about 8.4 of that,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's a lot less than 17, or in the case of some of the other towns that are building them, 27 or 24. Some neighboring towns have been building garages, and we know that this doesn't seem like a normal number to human beings, right? And yet it is in line with where we're at, and if anything, we're saving money. We've been looking at putting this forward in a bond, which is what we would be asking to do on December 1st in a town meeting, and have run some numbers, I think, since then. We're looking at it being either a 20 or 30-year bond, and trying to see how that would impact the tax rate. And we think on the high end of this, it would probably be an annual increase for taxpayers of about $308 and a quarterly increase of about $77 for the average homeowner. We hope that some of the savings that come out of our equipment lasting longer, being cared for, having a salt shed that can contain as much salt as we need for an extended period of time will help us in this. We also hope it will help us to retain employees by giving them a proper space to work. Currently, one of the moments when the highway department is most valued by all of us in this room and all of us in town is when we have a little bit more snow than we had this morning, and they need to be working around the clock clearing. And right now we don't have an adequate place for those people to stop and take a break, take an hour nap, go back on the road. So we're hoping that this facility provides us with some of that, and means that we're able to retain the employees that we have, because it's becoming harder and harder to find personnel. I don't know that I have much more to say. Do you have anything?
No.
Bob? Patrick?
The old building that we purchased, that's going to be repurposed, that will be office, conference room, locker rooms, office for our highway super. That is separate from the break room and the bathroom. It'll also have a shower in there in case a chemical spill or if somebody gets doused with something they can clean up. They'll have lockers where they have no lockers. There's no place to put their gear at this point. So that's pretty much where that building will be maintenance, a little bit of storage. It'll have lifts where they can actually work on something, a welding area where it has a hot works area so you don't burn your shop down. It'll be up to code and up to specs. The other building that we're proposing to have built will store the equipment, the trucks and stuff, and you'll actually be able to open both doors and get out of them. And then there'll be the wash bay, salt shed. A fueling station is, for me, was one of the biggest things. Right now we have a tank that's in the ground, really should come out and be removed, and it sits next to our municipal water supply. This will have a fueling system that all our departments can use. It'll be above ground, double walled, meet code, so that you'll have a very slim chance of any problems from contamination or spills.
And with a fob system that will make charging back to departments simpler, so we have an understanding of costs amongst our various departments. And I didn't mention before, in doing this project, we've been meeting repeatedly over the past year. I mean, with the current people we're working with, to bring down every cost that we can, including by taking a few things out of the project that went out to bid and managing them in-house. And that comes down to the salt shed not being a part of a broader bid that goes out to the world, because we're able to do that through an organization.
It's through a cooperative that we can just go and purchase. We don't have to put out a bid. They've already put the bid out and they've gotten the best possible price. So we can go directly there and buy the salt shed, the fuel station, and the wash bay mechanics.
Which has saved us several $100,000s of dollars. So we're working on everything we can. The good news is we have Bob in the room, who is always very careful about how we spend our money. So do people have questions about what they've seen in front of them?
Tell my name, right?
Yeah, you should actually stand up there and tell your name.
Well, my name is Charles Kelly, and I live on that Hewen Street that has the 4-acre property. That was my first question, is we never actually bought that, right? It was approved for purchase, but we've decided not to buy that property, or?
No, it was purchased.
We
We
own that.
property.
I drive by it every day, so what's the plan for that?
Your answer would be probably as good as ours.
We wanted to sell it, but at town meeting, it was tabled. There was some discussion about low-income housing, and some people who didn't want it sold, so in the end, we were not allowed to resell it
Okay,
at this point.
But it's currently sitting as an asset for the town then, so.
okay. Is it,
Ideally, land is in.
I don't know much about zoning. Is it zoned for agricultural, or? Do
It's
we have
actually-
zoning? I don't know.
It's in the
Zone for
business
business,
district.
yeah.
What?
It's in the business district.
That's business up there,
Yeah,
okay.
even though it's been used mainly for agricultural purposes. And
Nice.
then, of course, it was a blighted property at the time of purchase, and we did remove the house and clean it up.
The well air-conditioned house, that one?
Right,
Yeah.
the one that was kind of in the foundation, yes.
It says existing maintenance building. That's not our existing maintenance building. That was some other entity that,
That's the
Put it
building
up
that
for
was
sale?
already on the property.
What?
That's the building that was already on the
Okay.
property that we're retrofitting.
so all the nice things you talked about, having the break rooms, and that's that building there on the left. Okay,
Right.
great. What is it about the Commonwealth and how a greenfield type of project is different from buying an existing building? It seems like a substantial savings, primarily because someone else built a building for us however many years ago, and
So anything being built in the state by the state has to both go through a process of procurement and be based on the labor happening at prevailing wage across the state. So we would be expected to pay the wage that somebody would be earning to build something in Boston, here in Sheffield, even though that wouldn't initially be our cost. It's the state law. We have no ability to challenge any of this.
okay.
And the idea behind it is the idea of protecting people from unfair gaming of the system or things happening, right? The idea that there's this highly scrutinized process. Unfortunately, it comes at great cost. You know, had somebody built an entire garage that we could have purchased, we would have been happy to do so.
Does that ever happen where the people say, gee whiz, it's too bad we don't have a...
We're not allowed to have that conversation. Ethically, that would be challenging, right?
That's the way it actually worked out, that someone else,
Right.
for other purposes, built that building.
So in this case, it saved us probably $6 or $7 million. So
That's
it's
about
not
what it
insignificant.
looks like, yeah.
I was at an MMA meeting where a town had bought an old hotel as their senior center and saved $5 million, right? So there's the possibility of it. We don't have a lot of buildings sitting around beyond this one that would have met our needs more greatly.
We did look at custom extrusion, but that on the corner of Home Road and County Road.
Okay.
But the cost just to renovate that building to what we needed was around $9 million, I believe, was the price tag to do that, so.
What kind of activity was going on in this building? Do you know?
Basically a warehouse.
Warehouse.
An office space.
Okay.
The main structure was office space and a warehouse, and I forget the name of the business that was. It was electrical components. But they also added additional office space that they rented out to other businesses. So that was just basically office space and warehouse was what the building was. There was a couple of office space pieces to the building that had to be demoed, and our highway department saved us about $50,000 by doing the demo themselves and getting rid of the materials. It's quite an interesting project, and there's a lot of contingencies built into that number of, you know, price and profit and overhead or something, and then there's the contingency fee and what I refer to as fluff. There's over $1 million of possibilities that could happen that's built into that $8 million figure.
And in response to that, we actually hope that there is. And we will only bond out what we spend.
Oh, okay.
Right? So the company that we've used has been known for coming in at budget or under budget. When we were looking at companies, that's one of the things you look at. So in a dream scenario, we would spend a little bit less. We're not going to count on it because, first of all, right now, materials and things are unpredictable from day to day.
Oh, sure, yeah. Well, thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good evening. Hi, my name is Charles Chuck Strail. I'm on County Road. And I support the project. I've worked in public works myself, just have some questions. I'm a new resident to get an idea of what's going on and maybe to see if there are a few things that would be better another way. What's the size of the highway crew?
What are we, 5 usually? Yeah.
Usually about 5, so. And how many vehicles do you have, and are they all going to be able to fit into the structures now?
They will.
They will. What, just approximately, what do you have? You have about 3 trucks? And
There's 3 6-wheelers, 2 or 3 F5 or 650s. 2 650s. 2 pickup trucks, which are 350s, I believe. There's a grader, there's a excavator,
Yeah.
there's a loader,
Okay, I'll load it.
there's lawnmowers, there's a backhoe, there's a tractor with a over the guardrail brush mower, and several other smaller pieces.
Okay, so that should all get inside, which would be great. What do you do about line painting in this town?
Usually we hire that.
Contract for that?
Contracted, yes.
And does the town do any sweeping? Is that contracted too?
No, that would be contracted also.
Okay. gonna say, how about sign maintenance? It's a little shaky, actually.
Traffic signs is what you're referring to?
Yeah, sorry.
Our highway department does it on town roads,
Okay, so you,
on the state roads.
okay. And snow and ice control, is all the work done by the town personnel?
On town roads, correct.
Okay. And at this point, you're not aware of any other operations that you're gonna take up or drop that might change the scope of the project?
No,
Okay,
I don't
great.
think we had,
Although I think the building has some room for growth in it in
yes.
terms of staffing. So if our staff increased, we think we'd be able to accommodate a few more people, things like that.
Very good. And see, I was gonna ask you about office space, but it definitely looks better than what is reported you have now. Security, I assume the grounds will be fenced?
I don't know if we put in it for a fence, no. There will be a camera system.
That's useful. You may want to consider a fence, I don't know. When you wander around at night, you don't have anybody there 24 hours, except maybe in the winter for snow and ice.
Most everything will be locked up in the building, so it's not like we're gonna have a lot of material or equipment sitting outside that would be accessed by the public.
Alrighty.
It's alarm.
Yeah, it'll have alarm system on it.
Out of curiosity, how many people were at the last information session? Okay, small group.
Small group
See.
so far.
Alrighty. Well, I'll attend the meeting, what is it, December 1st, I guess, is the vote. I must say, one disappointment, I neglected to go to the meeting in which it was decided not to sell the property that was purchased and no longer needed. I intended to vote for the sale, but I figured it was a perfunctory meeting and couldn't imagine.
No meetings perfunctory, unfortunately. And it will probably come up again at some point.
I was going to say, how could it get reintroduced?
Anybody who voted in favor of the motion can bring up the other one.
Yeah.
Easy.
It's just, obviously, there was an investment there and no use for it. It would be help with the millage if we
The
could.
only good thing is it's a really good piece of land. It was purchased at a decent price, and they're not making any more of it, so it's an asset that the town will not lose on, whether we
Especially
hold
given
it
that it's in the
or whether
business
we-
district, right? I mean,
Yeah, I don't know how much it'll appreciate between now and when they get sold, but anyway, that's all. Oh, you mentioned the shower.
Yep.
I'm hoping it's going to be more than an emergency shower because,
No, it's a regular
Standard
shower,
shower.
so
Okay.
if the fellas want to use it
Good enough.
for any purpose,
'Cause I-
yes. If they want to change their clothes.
There are
that
times-
wouldn't be an option now. There is no shower, there's no place hardly that you would clean up. You don't
I think
have.
there's a cold hose outside. I think.
Yeah, you might be able to use a cold hose. So,
No.
yes, this will be a major upgrade from what they're used to.
very good.
And we're also very fortunate in the crew that we have, so we're delighted that they would have a better facility to work from.
All right, that's all I have. Thank you.
Cold storage, correct?
Correct.
Cold storage?
Cold storage, it will be used for like the plows in the summertime when you're not using them, mowers in the wintertime. So whatever is not in season that just needs to be under cover, doesn't need to be heated or maintained, that's pretty much, and any aggregates or brush, that kind of thing, we felt wouldn't be appropriate to put in the business park. This way, that can be stored there behind the existing shop.
Any other questions? Catherine?
I just came to hear.
All right, with that, I then would make a motion to recess until 7 o'clock.
I make a motion to recess.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we'll see everyone at 7 o'clock. I guess I can hit this for that.
I guess.
Call this meeting back to order of the Select Board of the Town of Sheffield for November 17th, and remind people, although we've already been reminded, that we're being recorded and that we're live on CTSB. Our next item of business is the approval of meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes from October 30th, 2025.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next, we have our library director here to give us a presentation and update. Thought she was, so I'm confused. If not, I can help you.
Hi, everyone. I think you all know me, but I'm Dina Caswell. I'm the library director. Thank you, Rhonda, and thank you to the Select Board for letting me speak to you all today. So I'm going to be giving you a little presentation on our fiscal year 25 that we just wrapped up at the library, and just to share with you all what an incredible resource that you have in town. So if you don't know, I know that one of you for sure has his library card. I know that one of you for sure
I
doesn't.
need to bring that on purpose, sorry.
Because I poke at Bob every time I see him to get his card. And so I do want to, since we're being recorded, I just want to encourage everyone that lives in Sheffield, works in Sheffield, goes to school in Sheffield, your tax dollars fund us here at the library. So this is your library, and we really encourage folks to sign up for a library card. Come into the building. We're open 6 days a week, so we are closed on Mondays, but we're open Tuesday through Sunday. We have evening hours, so we're open on Thursdays and Fridays until 7. So we do have Saturday hours, Sunday hours. We have a very lean and mean team, so we have 3 full-time members of staff. So there's me as the library director, Melissa Joyce is our assistant director, and Stephanie D'Angelo is our youth services manager. We also have 4 wonderful part-time circulation staff in Susan Hawkins, Jessica Bangs, Con Roach, and Megan Snow. So all of us are the ones that, you will see us checking in and out books, but there is so much that we do. One of the things that I like to make sure that people know is that even if you are not a reader and you haven't opened a book since high school, middle school, that's okay. There's no book report when you come into the library. We are not waiting to ask you what's the last book you read. We just want to see you. So the library is really a place about information and community. So one of the small things that we do is, in partnership with Town Hall, we have these posters for the town highway, or the town garage, in our building. So the people that are in and out of our building see this, because this is going to be an item that people are voting on. So we want to be sure that people in the town are as informed as possible of what is going on. So let's see, what else? It is hard to believe, but December 1st, I will have been at the library for 5 years. Really, as I was in, it was about making sure that the library was close to the public. We had curbside service. It was our hours were very restricted, so one of my first efforts was to make sure that we could get reopened to the public, and to do that as safely as possible. And I'm just really happy that over these past 5 years, we see nearly 30,000 people come in and out of our building every year. We circulate nearly 40,000 physical materials. So your physical books, your picture books for kids, our Library of Things items, the DVDs, 40,000 books. And I think one of the coolest things is we knew during the shutdown that people were changing their habits, right? You're not necessarily, like, who has a CD player in their car? I mean, I do, but it's an older car. Who has a CD player at home? So we knew that certain items weren't circulating as well. Things are changing. People are looking for more streamable options, digital options. So I've worked with Melissa and the trustees and Rhonda so that our budget is in a place where we can respond to these changes in materials. And if you'll look at our digital circulation, it has really grown. So it's gone from about 5,000 items checked out digitally in fiscal year 23, and then in this year, almost 10,000 items being checked out digitally. So any decrease that we were seeing in physical materials is more than balanced by our digital circulation. I'm very proud that just in talking with other library directors, as I do, our numbers are really strong, and I don't think that other towns have seen kind of the rebound to the services. So for just that foot traffic of people coming in and out, for people checking out materials, we know the people of Sheffield use us, they really value us, and we take that really seriously. So it's really exciting for me to see, as I put together these reports and feeling like, oh, we only checked out 37,000 materials, and last year it was 40, and then checking digital to see, oh, that's blowing things out of the water. So if you look at our total circulation, it's really level, which is, I think, a boon. Just that people, those of us who do have cards, our card holders in town, know all of the value that we provide. And so one of my initiatives as we move forward is, so I wanted to be sure that we were open and getting people in and out, that we had the materials and the formats that people were looking for, that we were returning to our programming, that making sure that people felt safe gathering in the building, that they knew that the library was a space. So if you haven't been in our library building in a minute, we're right across the street. It's a beautiful facility. So it's the former Sheffield Center School. We have 3 levels. So our lowest level has our large program room. It has an art studio space. It has a fully outfitted kitchen. Our main level is the circulation desk, our new books and DVDs, our reference and periodical area, and then our children's section. The second floor has all of our adult fiction and nonfiction materials on all of our audiobooks and things like that. Those meeting spaces, so the small program room, the art studio, we also have a group study room on the second floor. Those are used not just by the library and the friends of the library or the trustees for when we run programs, but for people in the community to be able to reach out to us and say, hey, we're looking for a space to do this. Oh, I need a space for my group to meet here. And we're able to provide that to them. So for that small group study room space, that's a hosting space for school tutors, for the LitNet volunteers that help people who are learning English, for people who have virtual healthcare appointments or other virtual services. We have a private space that you can reserve. We have in-house technology like laptops and Chromebooks that people can rent out from us to use and facilitate that. And then that big community room space, the Sheffield Land Trust meets there, the Sheffield Center and the Pine Grove Cemetery Group meets there. So I think it's really exciting that people know, and I hope that more people in town know, if you're looking for a place for your group to gather or meet, the library is here to meet that need. Like I said, so our programming really is back and we're very strong. We have over 5,000 people every year attend one of our programs. We run programs for all ages, from birth to question marks. One of the things that I've been trying to expand now is, like I mentioned, we have almost 1,200 card holders in Sheffield. We created over 100 new cards last year. I would really love to see more Sheffield residents get their cards. And so thank you to Lee, who does have his card. Bob, I'm gonna call you out again. Patrick, you get a bye, it's your first year, I'll play it nice. But just as much as you, if anyone is watching, Catherine, anybody in town, just to help us get the word out and let people know, come and get your library card. It's free. Your taxes are going towards this. It's a great value. I really think the return on investment for libraries is really something special, what we're able to provide for the cost of us running the business. Some of the regular programs that we run for kids, we have our Lego Construction Zone. We have a Read to a Dog program that we run in conjunction with Honor Bloom and her therapy dogs. So kids can read with a therapy dog for 15 minutes a week. We partner with South Berkshire Kids. They run our sing and dance program on Tuesdays for the little ones. And we regularly have youth art programs that are run by our youth services manager. For adults, we have a rotating art wall in the library, so every month there's a different artist or group of artists that display. The Friends support that in just making sure that the wall looks nice and that for our opening reception, we have some snacks to welcome people. The Berkshire Fiber Friends meet weekly. They're a group of knitters, crocheters, felters, embroiderers. We have our library's book club, a figure drawing class, a yoga class, a German conversation group, a weekly meditation group that meets. And I think one of the things that's most impactful is all of the partnerships that we try to cultivate at the library. So we work with Berkshire Community College. They come in about once a month or once a season just to let people know about all of the incredible things that BCC has to offer. Berkshire Nursing Families is running a prenatal yoga course with us right now on Sundays. We work with Cadmus Life Sharing, the Railroad Street Youth Project, Sheffield Gardeners, the Farmers Market, the Land Trust, Sheffield Pride, the Tree Project. So it's one of my things going forward that I'd really like to continue to kind of grow those partnerships because I think the library is stronger when we're able to work together as a community. Let's see, what else did I want to talk about? I also, over these past 5 years, have really worked, as I mentioned, with our digital circulation to kind of increase the services that we had available in that realm of things. So I hope that people will know that we have digital access to consumer reports. So you can go online and do some price matching reviews for your next purchase. We have the Creative Bug database, that's an arts and crafting video database. The Hoopla service, it's an app that you can download on your phone. You get 10 free checkouts a month with your library card, and that gives you not just books and audiobooks, but movies, TV shows, music, comedy albums, comic books, so that's a really cool service. IndieFlix and Canopy are two other digital movie services that we subscribe to. We have access to the Koval's Antiques database for folks in town to take a look at. There's also the Libby app. So Libby is another app that I hope you're familiar with. If not, definitely check it out. So that is books and audiobooks, but it also has digital magazines. And so that I know that's another thing that's really interesting to me. So as I look at circulation trends and knowing we're not buying audiobooks on CD anymore. They're very expensive, and people don't have a way to use them. So it's not a good use of taxpayer money. It's better for us to subscribe to a streaming service so that people can get access to it that way. What else? Let's see. We recently increased our subscription to the New York Times. So we now have all access New York Times for folks. If you're at the library, it's as easy as being on our Wi-Fi or being on one of our computers. But if you're at home, just visit our library's website. So it's bushnellsagelibrary.org. A lot of great information. And there's a link that you click on that website and you can get full access to not just the news, the archives, things like that, but New York Times Cooking, the games, The Athletic for sports, Wirecutter for technology. So that's another digital service that we provide. And we also, for local news, have access to the Newsbank group of newspapers. So that's local newspapers in Western Massachusetts, including the Berkshire Eagle. So again, you can get free digital access to these things because we are trying to use our money in the best way to keep the citizens of Sheffield as informed as possible. Something that folks maybe have used things for, but you maybe don't know about is our Library of Things. So again, because we're more than just books, our Library of Things includes Wi-Fi hotspots. So this is a little it's like a deck of cards, and it gives you a Wi-Fi network, and you can connect up to 10 devices to one hotspot. So I'll say, for the Sheffield Fair, we make sure to reserve 2 or 3 hotspots. We bring them to the fair, all of the vendors can get connected, and that's what lets people pay with a card or, a Venmo at Sheffield Fair. We subscribe to 11 different institutions for their museum pass, and we just launched a new reservation software so that you can go on our website, there's a big banner at the top, and you can say, oh, I've got family coming in next Saturday. I want to see what museums are available on Saturday, and I'll show you, The Clark is available, the pass to the Mass MoCA is available, and then you can reserve it that way. Or you can say, oh, I heard that the library has a pass to the Magic Wings Butterfly Garden, and so you can then see all of the dates that that pass is available. So we really like to let people know that, again, this is a great way to get access to free or discounted passes to our local institutions. So we know it's a blessing to live in South Berkshire County. There's a lot going on. The Library of Things also has our Grit and Grit Junior all-access wheelchairs. So those are wheelchairs that can access any sort of terrain. So sand, snow, they can go up a mountain. So that's really exciting. We have a telescope, a microscope. We have musical instruments. So we have ukuleles from the Magic Fluke, a violin, an acoustic guitar, a cake stand, a food mill, stuff to help you jar and can your items, a battery tester. There's always kind of things that we're thinking about. What are the things that you buy once and you don't really need it? Or you buy once and you only use it once every couple of years? Why don't you see if your library has it first? We have a lot of exciting things. And if you ever see something and you think, oh, I saw that this library over here had such and such, why doesn't our library? Come and talk to me. I love to hear from people. I love to hear what people are interested in, what people really feel like they have a need for, because we want to be able to serve the people of Sheffield as best as possible. My last update will just be around our building and grounds. The staff and I take a lot of pride in our library building and the grounds. It's really a special place. So we work with Rhonda and Town Hall to make sure that we're bringing any issues to everyone's attention as soon as possible. We're really thankful to our gardener, William, who keeps everything looking beautiful. He's supported by our friends of the library who support us a lot. We try to be good neighbors to our families and other people that live on the road, and good partners to the marketplace who's right next to us. But I will share that our building is starting to show its age. So it was built in 1908. It was the Sheffield Center School until students moved to Undermountain. Through grant money, the Friends of the Library, and community donations, they renovated that building and it became the library in 1997. So with an over 100-year-old building, we are starting to deal with aging infrastructure and HVAC issues. At the beginning of the year, Structures North came in and did a building assessment that focused on the infrastructure of the building. Thankfully, we have no issues that require immediate attention, but they did flag several issues as needing attention within the next 2 to 3 years. Residents Neil Chamberlain and Tom Ingersoll have volunteered. Neil is going to do an internal assessment of our building, so the electrical, the plumbing, other interior needs. Tom Ingersoll has volunteered to assess the trees and the other things that we have as part of our landscape in the back. We had a difficult summer with our air conditioning this year. Several of our standalone air conditioning units have reached their end of life. Technicians are difficult to locate to kind of address these issues. MT Kavanaugh has submitted a detailed estimate for their plans on renovating the library's HVAC, replacing those units with mini splits. So we do have mini splits on the first and second floor of the library. They are working well, thankfully. But the unit that's on the first floor is just insufficient to kind of cool that entire floor. And then additionally, Moran Mechanical was out to fix an issue that was happening to kind of make sure that oil flowed between the two boiler tanks. And while they were fixing that, they noticed a corrosion issue on the boiler. So they said that that will potentially impact the future effectiveness of the boiler. But I just wanted to let everyone know that the trustees and I are really aware of these issues. We're trying to pay attention to everything that's going on to figure out how we can best resolve these issues, and we want to do so in a way that really makes the most financial sense as well, and trying to balance the issues that we all know are happening. Like I said, I think that Felicity at one of our department head meetings pointed out that in just 8 years, we will be celebrating 300 years of Sheffield. So this town is beautiful, but we are going to see the impacts of age on our buildings, and we just want to be sure that the library is able to stay open and stay as cool or warm as possible. But again, I wanted to thank Rhonda and thank you all for allowing me to address you. Again, I'm going to take one last opportunity to point my finger at Bob and hope that he'll come by and get a library card. And please, everyone, if you would just talk to your friends and neighbors and make sure that they come and visit us at the library. Does anyone have any questions for me?
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you for letting me
Just so you
present.
know, I actually don't read. I get books out and I give them to Bob, so he has access to books.
No, and I will say, it was very generous, but I had someone come up and she was very worried. She said, Dina, I'm reading books less, but I'm doing so much on Libby. Does that do anything? And I was like, yes. So I can't see what you're reading, but I can see overall that people are reading. And so everything that you check out on Libby, or every time you check out a museum pass or something from our library of things, I do get those numbers eventually, and they go to the state and they go to the select board when I have opportunities like these to talk to you all. All right, thank you so much.
And if you want a shop vac for your place of things, I'm happy to drop one off tomorrow morning.
Oh, let's talk.
Mainly because I'd like to get it out of my shed. We're on to item number 5. We just wanted to remind all license holders in town that renewals are due in December. I don't know if there's much more to say other than you want to get things in.
You'll be getting a letter.
Item number 6, and I don't see Ron Yeaple here's discussion action regarding permission to hunt on town-owned property on Bearsden Road. We have a letter attached in here from Ron Yeaple explaining the situation, and he likes to bow hunt and would like to do that through the entire bow hunting season. I think we have the letter here, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
You need mine.
No, I have it. Thank you. I'm sorry. It's on a piece, a parcel of land that's landlocked. It's about 39 acres. It's surrounded by Ron and Veronica, the Smith family lands, Wayne and Jennifer Wilkinson's, and the Sheffield Land Trust. There are also 3 little residential lots on the east side of this parcel. Ron has stated that he will honor all state laws related to hunting. He has his license updated. He has a crossbow permit that he would like to use until the end of November, and during shotgun and muzzleloader seasons, beginning in early December, he would like to do that. He has a firearms ID number that's valid through April of 2029. Does anyone have any questions? I believe he's done this in the past as well, right? On this land or no?
No.
No? Any thoughts or questions? I thought Ron might be here.
I have no problem with this. Do we have any issues with insurance or anything? So I'll make a motion that we give Ron Yaples written permission to hunt that parcel.
Second.
Any further discussion or anything in the room? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Next up, on item number 7, we have an appointment announcement. Sandra Preston, who has sat on the Ashley Falls Historic District Commission in the past, has sent in a letter asking to be put back on the board. She had taken a slight leave of absence, and we will be making that appointment 2 weeks from today, unless we hear otherwise from anyone. Item number 8, and I thought Pat would be here for this. It's a revision to Exhibit C of the Southern Berkshire Public Health Collaborative Intermunicipal Agreement. In reading it, it's primarily they're amending their contract to include 2 new towns that weren't in there when they initially wrote their materials, and then adjusting a little bit of the language that they felt needed adjustment. They're really almost clerical in nature.
Basically.
Would anyone, you both had a chance to review those, and do you have any questions?
I have read it.
Then,
I'm fine with it.
Seems.
Pat, would you like to make?
do we need, if you could make a
I'll
motion.
make a motion to approve the recommended changes to the Exhibit C of the PHCIMA.
You're good at, yeah, I was gonna say, that you've got a lot of acronyms in there. Is that a second?
Second, yes.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I love number 9. Who has surplus trucks, award surplus truck bids? Maybe you want to explain to us where we're at?
So as Bob talked about earlier, we have two F-650 trucks, I believe, which replaced a 2015 Ford F-550 and a 2017 Ford F-550. We put both of them on municipal, and the bids ended today, so we'll start with the 15. We had, the winning bid was $17,200 for that truck, and it's from Bobby Gearhart. The second truck, the 2017, had a winning bid of $14,401, and that's going to an Adam Nurse in Roxbury. The first gentleman is from Lebanon, Pennsylvania, so they're coming quite a ways to pick up the trucks if they're awarded.
That's pretty exciting news.
It is. It is.
And we already put a motion to put them out, so we don't have to do anything for it.
You have to award.
Or we do have to award it, okay.
I'll make a motion that we award the 2015 F-550 to Bobby Gerhart and the 2017 Ford F-550 to
Adam Nurse.
Adam Nurse.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of $31,000 coming back our direction?
Aye.
Item number 10 is just a brief announcement that during the Thanksgiving week, the office will be closed on Wednesday and Thursday in honor of the Thanksgiving holidays.
Correct.
Any board member items?
Nothing from me.
Just wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, I'll remind people, I think they're still taking turkeys for the police department, right?
Yes, they are.
Although hopefully SNAP benefits have been re-administered to people so that it's not as dire of a Thanksgiving for anyone. Rhonda, do you have any?
Just a reminder about the special town meeting. Will be on December 1st at 6 o'clock at the Mount Everett High School Auditorium. Because the meeting is on a regularly scheduled selectmen's meeting, the selectmen's meeting will be on December 2nd here at 7, so it'd be the following day. But we're hoping that everyone will come out for 3 articles on the 1st. One is to the funding for the highway garage. The second one would be our contribution towards the replacement of the Lime Kiln Road Bridge. And the third would be for some extra money for legal. All of this bonding and borrowing in the highway garage, it takes a lot of legal input. And so it was more than what we had anticipated. So we're gonna ask for a little bit of extra to cover those costs.
And the warrants are posted,
They're posted this afternoon. Mhm.
so if anyone's looking for them, and I believe they'll be coming
We'll
in
put
the
it
mail
up.
to people through
The Sheffield
the
Times.
Sheffield Times as
And we
well.
will get it up on the website. I'm not sure if it got up there this afternoon, but we will get it up there for tomorrow.
Anything else, Jill?
I'm good.
Motion,
I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
It's a long.